On this episode, we play Would You Rather with questions generated from ChatGPT. Today is August 27th, 2024. This is episode 697 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
So on today's episode, we are going to have some fun because the next one, Jeremy's got to do a lot of research.
Yes.
So we were trying to decide what to do, and then you went on this chat thing. Tell me about this.
You don't even know what ChatGPT is.
So tell me about this. No.
So here, I'll read basically what ChatGPT is, if nobody's familiar. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence, so AI chatbot that uses natural language processing to understand and respond to human language in real time.
That's weird.
So you can basically go into ChatGPT, and I use this a lot, actually. You can go in there and you can basically ask it anything.
Okay.
You could go in there and you could say, what are the best places to eat at Disney? And it'll generate this whole list.
Okay.
And so it's all artificial intelligence creating these things. And
scary.
It's really, really scary. I use it for a lot of work I do with my brother.
Okay.
Which is really cool because a lot of times I just don't feel like thinking. So I can literally go in there and type.
Is that good though, or bad?
Well, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing with AI. Let's discuss it for a little bit because I do use it some, and it's getting very scary. I think there's a lot of people that think AI is almost only used for like bad. I mean, it's used for good. You can create things. I mean, between creating images, I do. Text and stuff like this through ChatGPT, you can do.
Okay.
And you can pretty much create whatever you want. I mean, I was messing around with the new OpenAI that Facebook Messenger is using.
Is that the one where you were?
Yeah, where I put myself riding an eagle. And you can literally upload your own face. It takes multiple photos of your face. You do it with your phone.
I think I'm going to do this
the
next.
Same way. And for anybody who is out there right now going, look, they're stealing all your info. I know. I don't have anything to.
But we have
iPhones.
Hide.
We do. Everything all the time is stealing
we have
all of your info.
Alexa.
Yes. Well, no, we have everything is all the time stealing your info.
Yeah.
It does crack me up where people say like, well, I don't want to get the Amazon Echo, the Alexa devices or something in my house because I don't want it always listening to me.
I understand.
Well, then you better take whatever's in your pocket and throw it in garbage disposal because it is listening all the time.
Yes, it is.
So, and I do understand the fear, and you should be very careful around those types of things. I get it. For me, I just don't, honestly, I don't think I'm going to live long enough that it's going to matter. Now it is progressing very, very quick. So a year from now I could be wrong, but I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about having like my everything stolen from me or something in those senses of the word. So anyway, all that.
Okay.
I'll get probably emails about, Jerry, you should really do this. And you're probably right. So the thing is that I think these AI are really, really good for is kind of setting a tone or getting ideas.
Yeah.
So, you could type into ChatGPT, what are some, and I even tried this. I was just curious. I said, what are some good topics for a Disney podcast?
Mm-hmm.
And it generates 25 ideas. Now we would never take one of those ideas and just, riff off it or go off it verbatim, but it's a good starting point. It's a good starting point to say, if any kids are listening, do not use AI for schoolwork unless you're instructed to do so. you could sit down and you're writing a paper or something, and you could put into ChatGPT something to get you started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Wow.
a good starting point. I think it's a good thing to structure things after. So, let's just say, for example, I was looking at creating a new logo for Main Street Magic.
Okay.
Right. And I typed in there into the generator that does images that I use. It's called Midjourney. And I said, create a logo for Main Street Magic that features Cinderella Castle and the colors red and blue or something.
Okay.
I don't know why I'd pick blue, red and white and black.
It'll
Generate something, right? It'll generate an image. It'll give me a logo. We probably wouldn't use that, but it sparks some good ideas and creativity is what I think. It's also a lot of fun to use for something like we're about to do.
Okay.
You remember iRobot?
Oh,
the movie
yeah.
with Will Smith?
Oh, yeah.
So when that movie came out, I was super interested in that idea.
Okay.
And so I actually went and I purchased the book, The Age of Spiritual Machines. I believe it's by Ray Kurzweil, something along those. Ray Kurzweil, something like that. And there is one of my favorite bands, Our Lady Peace, has an album called The Age of Spiritual Machines. And what it is about is at some point, the line between humans and AI or robots will be completely blurred. There is going to be, I don't know that it'll be in our lifetime. It may,
Wow.
and let's see what Disney does with this audio animatronic of Walt Disney, right?
Yeah.
There will be a point in time that you could be sitting next to me here and you could be a robot and I would have no idea. Like that is going to happen, right?
Well, I watched a movie before that basically you like, I don't remember the name of it. I don't know if Rob told me to watch it or what. And I don't know. I think I watched it because a certain person was in it. Robbie Amell, which is Stephen Amell's
Stephen Amell is
cousin, I think.
The
Green,
from DC's Green Arrow, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
So anyways, I watched this movie and basically it like uploads stuff, I think maybe every night, like in your brain. And then it goes to this. And when you die, you can have it replace you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
And I'm like,
that will happen one day. I mean, whether it's a year, 10 years, 100 years, whatever, it is going to happen. And so, so I bought that book. And would you like to know if I read it?
Did you read it?
I did not. I could barely make it to the foreword, and I was like, I'm not smart enough to read this book. It is.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I just sat on my shelf, and then it was a fun conversation piece, and it made me look like I was intelligent. But it really is. It's about blurring that line, and we're getting to that point. It's really, really interesting, but it's also very, very scary. One more thing about AI, and then we'll get on to the actual episode. For example, if you go back to our last episode, if you go to our website at Main ST Magic, and if you click MSM News under the menu, it will give you a list of all of our blogs, articles, news, and then it also is all of our podcast episodes. And I need to upload an image for each of those, right? So 99% of the time, we do a trip review and we talk about the Polynesian. So I use a photo that we took of you and I at the Poly, right?
Right.
But for example, on that episode, this last one of the most, or our favorite sounds at Walt Disney World, I wanted, I don't know, like Mickey Mouse wearing headphones, right? So I Googled that. I couldn't find something I really liked. So I went into Midjourney, the AI image generator, and I worked with it. And I got myself this adorable image.
It is adorable.
Yeah, it's an adorable image of like almost a young Mickey Mouse, like a child Mickey Mouse wearing headphones. And that was all generated in AI in real time. That is produced to you within a minute of you asking. It's nuts. So what I did for this episode, because I thought it'd be fun, and we're trying to have a little bit of fun with this one.
Yeah.
It's we're recording early because we will be gone.
We're almost recording 3 days in a row. We recorded yesterday.
Yeah.
We're recording today, and we will be recording Sunday because I have to work Saturday.
Right. So
and we're in the parks next week.
Right.
Woohoo!
So we wanted something fun for today.
Yeah.
So I went to ChatGPT and I said, create a list of Disney would you rather questions. And within 10 seconds, we got back 25 would you rather questions. And ChatGPT told me, absolutely. Here's a fun list of Disney themed would you rather questions to spark some lively debates and discussions. So that's what we're going to do. We have
That's
not
crazy.
edited this list. We have not reviewed this list. So
Uh-oh.
let's see what happens, right?
Okay.
We might need to update some things. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how much AI knows, right? So let's start with number 1. And we'll just I'll ask the question. You can go first each time. I'll go. We'll spark a conversation. Would you rather meet Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck?
I think I'm going to say Donald Duck.
Would you?
I
Why?
am because, and I know Rachel's cheering right now,
Yeah.
but because I feel like I always meet Mickey. And I've met Mickey a lot already. So are you asking me as me now? Like, or are you asking me as like never been gone before?
No, now.
Okay.
This is now. And you
Okay.
are Rhonda. You're not a robot. You've not yet been replaced. Wait, are you?
I don't know.
I love that in Loki season 1 where he goes to the TVA
Oh, yeah.
and they ask him to go through that scanner.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, something along the lines, he said, what is this for? And they're like, we need to make sure you're not a robot. And he like questioned himself and he's like, what if I am a robot? Like there will be a point, I think, that a robot will not know that it's a robot. It will be able to, and that's what the Age of Spiritual Machines is all about, is not only blurring that
And
line.
iRobot.
Right. It's them having emotion. It's
Yeah.
actually having feelings.
Yeah.
And then
Ugh.
being able to decide. I mean, iRobot's entire premise, we should have just done an AI episode because I think it's fascinating. iRobot's entire premise was, can a robot decide on its own emotionally, in a sense, what is right or wrong? That's why Will Smith hates them, because the robot saved him instead of the child when he was with his son, I believe it was, or daughter. Remember, it crashed into the water, and the robot saved Will Smith because it calculated the probability of survival.
Right.
Will Smith had a higher survival rate of being rescued than the kid.
That's right.
Therefore, it had to choose. Now, the question will come at some point. That robot would be able to make an emotional decision to say, I'm going to choose to save the child over the adult because it is a child. And there won't be data that it has to fight with. So with that being said, you would rather meet Donald Duck.
Yeah. I kind of want to watch iRobot. No. Yeah. So again, like I said, I didn't know if this is us talking about this as right this second.
Yeah, we're talking
in our
you
life.
and I in our lives.
Okay.
What we've
And that
done,
is
right?
why
Yeah.
I would like to meet more Donald, because I know you can meet him over in Epcot.
Yeah, you get in
at
Mexico.
Mexico.
You get the Three
Mhm.
Caballeros Donald.
But I've met Donald other places, but not as much.
Do
as, of
you
course,
remember your first hug back when hugs were allowed again with characters?
It was with Donald.
After the closure for the COVID, it was
Mhm.
Donald.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was
at Coronado Springs, right?
Yes, it was out on the lawn.
Yep.
It sure was.
And it was so amazing.
Yeah. I think I'd go with Donald for the same reasons.
Okay.
And, he's a little bit of a troublemaker sometimes. And so I think that interaction is always going to be fun.
Yes.
Now, if they ever brought back Talking Mickey, right, to Magic Kingdom,
yeah.
that would be super cool. I wish they would bring that back.
They should. They would be. They could with AIs.
It could be AI generated. I mean, again, but that's the crazy part. You could get to a point where, inside, this could be created where you could ask a character a question and it could process and give you an answer based on you. That's the crazy part. I mean, it could come back at some point and go, oh, Rhonda, it is so great to see you. How are Kaylin and Lacey? I see that they're not here. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd die.
wouldn't you?
I'd roll over
But
and
imagine
die.
how cool that would be
I don't know.
when it's used for good.
Okay, only
Okay.
for good.
All right.
All right.
Next
Would you
up,
rather?
would you rather spend a day at Magic Kingdom or Epcot?
Right now? Right this second?
Right this second.
Epcot.
Really? I would
Because
choose
it's
Magic
fine.
Kingdom.
It's food and wine.
Not right this second. It's not.
Okay.
But in general,
We will
let's
be in
let's
the
use it
parks.
generally though for that one.
Generally,
Yeah. Would you rather spend a day? We're talking about at
Magic Kingdom.
Epcot.
Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot more to do there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot more to see. You're gonna have a lot more to eat. You're gonna have a lot more. I mean, just everything
Not
that's
to
there.
eat, like,
Well, again, festivals aside,
yeah.
I do love Epcot for what it is, food wise,
Mhm.
right? Magic Kingdom hurts a little bit in that aspect, but they've been stepping it up a lot with more of the treats, the snacks, the things like that. So I think Magic Kingdom, if you don't count a festival, I know it doesn't have the best food, but I would almost still rather choose there outside of a Space 220 or a Le Cellier.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Nine Dragons, we can get that at home basically. You know, you go or Katsura Grill, you know, go to quick service or go to Lotus Blossom Cafe and get those at home. You know, Coral Reef food wise is pretty good, and that atmosphere is pretty incredible.
Been good,
right? But, you know, you look at a lot of these other places, I think, that are around Epcot, and some of those you can find at home, you know, near you. You can find a local Italian joint, a local, you know, Chinese or Asian place. You can find, you know, all those types of things. So, and then ride wise, while Cosmic Rewind, you know, is I think both of our favorite ride that currently exists, right? For the most part.
For the most part. Like I said, Tron's mine right now because mine is so dependent on Cosmic. And oh my gosh, last time we rode Cosmic, not only did we wait for the front, but we got one way or another. And it was so good that I was like, all right, yes, you're right. This is the best ride.
Yeah.
But if I get, like, I don't mind September, but if I get the fire one or the whatever one that is.
Disco Inferno?
Yeah.
You don't like Disco Inferno?
No.
I like that one.
Not at all.
If I get Iran or Everybody Wants to Rule the World,
I'm
mentally
out.
out. Like, I'm just mentally out from the beginning. So. The ride is still amazing.
But at Magic,
but ride-wise, look at Magic.
You have...
know, from Tron to Tiana's to, you know, Pirates and Haunted and Jungle. And, I mean, those five right there blow Epcot out of the water because our rides our attractions are limited at Epcot. You know, it's not built around that.
Right.
So yeah, I think both then go to Magic Kingdom. All right. Would you rather, this is a dumb question. This is where ChatGPT just isn't a 44-year-old or 45-year-old person. Would you rather experience a ride on Space Mountain or Expedition Everest, which is actually an interesting one for you?
I know because
Mine's easy. Expedition Everest.
I know.
Every day, every time. They could have said, sorry, but they could have said at D23 they were going to implode Space Mountain and put something else in its place, and I would have been fine with it.
Oh, I would be too because of how rough it is for me. But as far as in riding, that to me is a very hard one. I think I'm gonna pick Expedition only because of you and how much you love it, and I'll ride it for you. So but I hate the backwards. It makes my head hurt. And I hate the almost like round. It's like literally goes in a circle like 3 times, I feel like.
That when you come out of the mountain and you come through that drop in the series of twists and turns that come after it was my favorite what'd you call it? Segment of any ride.
Yeah.
I think Cosmic has actually taken that over when you come out of that spin going around the Earth at the end.
See, and that one weirdly doesn't bother me.
Well, it's so much smoother.
Maybe.
I also, you know, and what helps with Cosmic Rewind actually feeling so much smoother is the fact that your car moves in 360-degree angles, right?
Yeah.
So it actually makes it smoother because it can I guess it can kind of turn, and they make it turn for a smoother ride. Whereas, you know, Everest obviously is just old school, like kind of roller coaster.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to our number 4. Would you rather dine at Cinderella's Royal Table or be our guest restaurant?
Oh, this is a good one.
That's a smart AI.
That's a good one.
Question,
That's a really good one. I think I'm gonna say Cinderella's Royal Table.
Okay.
Even though Beauty and the Beast is my absolute favorite all-time shows, like the movie, everything. I think I'm saying Cinderella's because I think I wish Be Our Guest was like Cinderella.
I think everybody does.
I don't
as far
like...
as being a character dining, a true character dining?
Take the... yes, possibly, but take the lunchroom feeling out of it.
Oh yeah, because it's so big. And it's
so big. I don't know how you could do things. I don't know what you could do.
Lunchroom feeling. That's actually a really, really good way to describe it. And that's if you're in the main ballroom area.
Yeah.
I do think the library and the West Wing have a more
I like those
intimate setting.
Right. But then it's hard and it's, you like go in there and this is, well, I don't know because I haven't been in a long time, but you go and you look for like a lunchroom table. You go and when we went,
we have not been in quite some time.
We need to, I know, we need to go.
We actually haven't been since we've never done dinner, and then we haven't been since they switched even lunch to prefix. So
we need to do that, and then maybe we can reevaluate this.
Yeah.
But
I would pick Be Our Guest right now because of the fact we haven't
right.
done it in so long, and we've never done the actual dinner.
Right, but before,
yeah,
you legitimately would get your you'd get your thing and you'd get a drink, you'd get whatever, and then you'd literally go, right, and you'd go and you'd try to find yourself a table.
Yeah.
Whereas Cinderella's Royal Table, a wonderful cast member that is not a guard, but
I would say almost like that.
A guard takes you up to your table.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, and then you could maybe say, I would like the West Wing, or I would like, the library. And again, I know the ballroom's supposed to feel grand and ballroomy, but it's just lunchroom feeling to me.
No, I get that. I just would pick it because we haven't done it in so long. So, but if we're taking that aspect out of it, just as they sit, Cinderella Royal Table is the better of the two. And we've always loved our meals there.
Mm-hmm.
The interactions have always been really, really good. I mean, again, you're eating in Cinderella Castle.
Exactly.
Like you can't do much better than that, even if you're in, the Beast Castle still.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. This is a really good one because we're going to be doing both of these. So we technically don't have to pick.
Yay, but if I had to, I know which one I'm going to pick.
Would you rather have a magical night at the Halloween party, so Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party?
Halloween.
Agreed. Yeah.
And we've had to do that. Yes.
Most every year.
Yes.
And we're very fortunate.
I'm very
that we're
excited that we're getting to do both.
Yeah. And it'll be really cool it's going to be an interesting conversation after we do both this year because we've only done both in the same season once before.
Yeah.
And I want to say that was probably back 17, 18 or something like that when we did, the four of us, we did Halloween party, and then the four of us and your parents,
that's right,
we did the Christmas party.
That's right.
And we were staying over at Fort Wilderness. We were staying in one of the cabins over there. And so, it's easy since for the past several years, all we've done is a Halloween party is to say that's the one we would pick. So it'll be really neat to have this conversation again, maybe at the end of the year and say, all right, we did the Halloween. Basically about a month and a half later, we did Christmas. And in between those two, we're doing Jollywood Nights.
Oh.
It'll be a cool conversation to see how we feel about it at that point, right? Okay, let's move on next. And would you rather be a guest at a Disney resort or stay in one of the DVC, and we'll call sections because I know there is separation between them. But which would you rather do? For example, you're going to Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
Would you rather stay as the Disney portion of the standard Wilderness Lodge, or would you rather do DVC in Boulder Ridge, Copper Creek? Something like that.
Both. But no, if I really had to pick, because I have done both and it is amazing. I think if I had to pick, I would say DVC because of that literal home feeling. Like they really do make it feel like home. And it's so like heartwarming and just.
There's something different about it.
It is. And lately, because we have stayed a little bit more because of our sweet, amazing friends, Chuck and Amy. Yeah, that's.
I would agree for the most part. DVC. If you get to something like a beach club, I'd personally rather be in the Disney portion, which is closer to the lobby. I know the DVC portion is a little bit more intimate. It's a little quieter there as it's in the back. It has got its own common area and stuff like that. But I think overall, DVC would be the way to go, except maybe at somewhere like beach. And I would possibly say the same for Wilderness Lodge.
I know, that's why I said both, because like I loved. I'll never forget the first time. I'll never ever forget the first time.
We stayed DVC.
We stayed first. First, we went there.
Are you talking about Wilderness Lodge in general?
Wilderness Lodge in
Yeah.
general. When we first went there, it was on a bus because we
Mhm.
were staying at Fort Wilderness.
Yep.
And I was like, ooh, this
And that
must
time
be
we
the
were in our pop-up camp.
yeah. And I was like, this must be where rich people stay.
Mhm.
And then the first time and walking into that grand, giant
Whew.
lobby. And then after that, staying in DVC. And now with my parents living up in Alabama and mountain area and it's cabiny like and being in the DVC area. And it's just so like non-busy.
Mhm.
And you can sit in front of the fireplace, you can rock, you can see Walt's train,
Yeah.
you can like I don't know, there's just so much that it's hard to beat that giant
Yeah.
lobby.
Yeah. I mean, again, it could come resort specific, but overall,
Yeah.
definitely be DVC side. All right. Would you rather have the power to talk to animals like Dr. Dolittle or the ability to fly like Peter Pan? I'm going to go with Dr. Dolittle because I'm not a big fan of heights. And so I don't want to be flying just myself. Like
Okay.
just me. You know what I mean? Like as a human, just being able to fly like Superman or Peter Pan, I don't want to do. But talking, imagine the conversation that Bucky Barnes and I would have, right?
That's what I was
Imagine the
thinking.
conversation that you and Stitch would have.
Yeah, I would want to fly.
You would pick that over talking to animals?
Oh.
Talking to animals is like, look, Stitch is on Rhonda's lap looking at her like, that's rude. How would you not want to talk to me?
Oh, I do want to talk to you, buddy, but I want to fly, man. Could you imagine being at Epcot and being like, I'm just going to fly right on over to Magic Kingdom. Hang on.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
I'm going to fly over to
All right, that's pretty good. But you're individual.
Disney says, so you need 90 minutes, not me. I'll be
No.
there in 5.
Yeah. but only you can fly. So what, you get into Magic Kingdom and waiting for me to take a bus over? You're not carrying me. Or are we going in a Peter Pan sense with pixie dust?
And I have Tinkerbell?
Yeah, so then you could bring me along
You just have to think
flying.
happy thoughts. Would you think happy thoughts?
No, the whole time I'd be going, oh God, I'm going to die. Whole time. I'd have to close my eye. No, that wouldn't work either. I don't think I could do it. But then I'm afraid if I'm afraid to talk to animals. If I sat down with Bucky Barnes, I'm afraid he might be like, look, dude, if you didn't put me outside on the back porch every night, I would most likely kill you while you sleep.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, oh, great. I wish I didn't know these things. So I'm not sure. That would be actually interesting.
Okay, well, I would fly. Let's move on.
Just think about being inside of Bucky Barnes' head. though. That would
I have
be
no
amazing.
desire for him.
I know you don't. Would you rather ride the Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion?
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
We say it every time. We even said it on the last episode. When it really boils down to it, I think in our opinions, at least in mine, Haunted Mansion is my favorite all-time attraction.
I think so. Yeah.
Now again,
100%.
if you said right now, if you said, Jeremy, you can either get on Cosmic Rewind right now or you can get on Haunted Mansion, I'm going to pick Cosmic Rewind. But that doesn't necessarily mean I think it's the best attraction. Haunted Mansion has so does Pirates. Pirates is pretty perfect in its own way,
Mm-hmm.
but Pirates doesn't invoke the same feeling that Haunted does.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Almost in the same way that a Tower of Terror does, where the ride starts from the moment you see it.
Yeah.
Like Pirates, like I'm not walking up to Pirates thinking about Pirates other than the fact that I'm going to get on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're in it when you see Gracie Manor and you before you've even
Memento
stepped
Mori.
into the queue. Yeah. You're passing Memento Mori. You're seeing the cast members standing outside in their Haunted Mansion, costumes. Like there is something about it that is like nothing else.
Yeah.
Now, what is going to be very, very interesting is the way that they put in Cars Land, which will be adjacent directly next to Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And what is that going to do when you're in the queue? Are you going to hear cars? Are you going to hear that hustle and bustle as opposed to just hearing the silence from Tom Sawyer's Island because there's nobody on it, or the Liberty Bell coming by, which fits You know what I mean? That ambient sound, those sites fit the
Uh-oh.
current queue of the Haunted Mansion. What are they going to do? Are they going to put some sort of like berm, or is that where we're going to build? You know, because this is supposed to be out west, Frontierland. Are they going to build some sort of mountainous surrounding that more contains Cars Land, where you know it'll block from Haunted? That's the part. I'm not overly upset about losing Tom Sawyer's Island or Rivers of America. I am concerned with losing the aesthetic of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's incredible to have rivers there,
Mm-hmm.
to have Tom Sawyer's there, even if you don't do them or visit them. It certainly is that aesthetic. It's that immersiveness. It is that theming and feeling. But I'm more concerned with how it's going to affect other rides around it. Big Thunder, easy, right? It's gonna blend right in with Big
100%.
Thunder and
100%.
most of the rest of Frontierland. Whether you think cars should be driving around or not, that's understandable.
Right.
But how is it going to meld with Haunted Mansion and its way into Liberty Square?
I don't
It'll
know.
be super interesting.
It will be.
Okay, next up, would you rather have a character breakfast with Elsa or a dinner with Aladdin and Jasmine? Let's go ahead and do Elsa and Anna. This is our first ChatGPT that will update.
Oh, okay.
You know, but would you rather with Elsa and Anna, or would you rather dine with Aladdin and Jasmine? It's easy for me. Elsa doesn't even have to be there. I would dine with Anna. So that one's easy for me. I love Anna. She's the best.
Okay.
So that's
I
where
was
I
gonna
would go.
pick Elsa and Anna, I think too. I love Aladdin and Jasmine, but I don't know.
The stories they could tell, though, Aladdin and Jasmine
Yeah,
would be
that's
super
true.
interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you got your street rat, you've got your princess,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, so I think the conversation would be better with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd rather sit with Elsa and Anna, right?
Yeah.
And then well, she has ice powers, so I don't know. I would rather her have like fire powers, because if we were talking too much and then like my soup got cold, I'd be like, "Oh, can you heat this up for me?" Or Elsa, can you heat this up for me?
Mm.
But she couldn't. She could only freeze it, so we'd have to have a cold meal.
Okay.
And then where are we dining? Norway?
Yeah.
Morocco?
Norway.
So but I'm saying for each individual one, is that actually?
Oh
where you're
yeah,
dining?
that'd be cool. That'd
You
be
know?
cool.
Are we talking about doing Akershus with
Mhm.
just Elsa and Anna? Or are you talking about going over to
Elsa,
Morocco?
Anna, Sven, well, not Sven,
Get
but
Kristoff in there.
Kristoff, Olaf.
Yeah. I mean, that's going a whole other direction, but I'd be
instead
like,
of
would you rather?
instead of princesses, they could totally change that to that. I think they should. personally-
I'd love to see a full character dining that is inclusive to one IP.
Yeah.
And Norway would be a good spot
It would be
for that.
fantastic.
You could have
Because-
you could even have Hans. You know, you could almost do like a
Like a villain
not a dinner, not
where
a
he comes
dinner
out and
show.
dun dun like
Yeah, so not a dinner show in the sense of a hoop-de-doo or even a beer garden, but more of an actual character interaction. So
Yeah.
it would be like, but it'd have to have some sort of show element with
Why?
Hans, because you would have Hans. You would need to have a reason for Hans to be there. I don't think Hans can walk into a character meet and greet with everybody knowing that he's a villain. You know what I
so
mean?
he walks
Why would he be
in.
there? He walks in.
He walks
as
in
Hans
and
with
then
Anna.
no, he walks in. And then because Elsa and Anna and Olaf and Kristoff are all out at different tables, you will have to have cast members like, all right, which one? And Hans starts to come and they freak out and run away. And then he kind of goes around and meets a little bit.
That would be cool.
And then he does, it will all be a show on his aspect, because then something would have to make him go away. And then Elsa, Anna, and Krista, they would all come back to, and then maybe it's not even a show to meet Hans. He just comes out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe kind of like goes to
But is he
a
going to
table.
be? Is he going to be
what
charming?
he wants.
Is he going to be charming, or again, is he going to be the known villain Hans?
It's the known villain,
portion?
man.
Okay. All right. Well,
He's the bad guy.
yeah, he's a bad guy. Yeah, just make sure you use your silverware, because you're not supposed to use your Hans. All right. Next up,
Oh my gosh.
would you rather? We're gonna have to update this one because as written, so ChatGPT needs to get with it.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather have the ability to instantly get fast passes for any ride, or have unlimited access to Disney's Genie Plus service? So this is a tough one to update from GPT and make it our own because, basically fast passes are back. They're paid, but it is a very similar system to the free fast pass
Right.
now with Lightning Lane multipass. So I guess you would have to say, would you rather have unlimited access to free Lightning Lane multipass? Or let's say this, would you rather have the ability at any time to just ride a ride that you want through the Lightning Lane entrance? So you can either, would you rather have free multipass? You can go ahead and start to plan your day 7 days ahead. You can go ahead and get those first 3 rides. You can then, again, you would use it as it is. It's just free.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather wake up that morning, have nothing, but when you get to the park at that point, you would basically be allowed to then choose whatever ride you want and immediately go through the Lightning Lane. So in that sense, it would almost, let's do this. Would you rather have unlimited free multipass at Disney World, or would you rather have Universal's version of Express Pass? The one time, not the unlimited Express Pass, right? Because we got to make this a little bit different. But at Disney World. Which do you think?
I hate to say it, I would
take
love
Express
the
Pass
Express
option.
Pass option, the one time, except I would hate that it'd be one time, but I guess not because Disney World has so many more.
We're not, again, I mean,
I
can't think.
one time. That's fine.
I can't think of a ride. Sure, I would love to have unlimited and just spend all day riding Cosmic Rewind, but
not
in
me.
reality,
Yeah.
like you're saying, if you were at Magic Kingdom to have unlimited express where you pretty much just walk right through the Lightning Lane, queue for anything you want at any time, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
So we'd pick that one. All right. Next, would you rather experience a Disney World park during the day or at night? I would just like to experience Animal Kingdom again at night.
Yeah.
Right?
I started to say, I would do night
Let's go
across
through each
4
park.
parks.
Okay. Magic Kingdom.
Night.
Day or night? Night.
Mm-hmm.
Epcot.
Night.
Hollywood Studios.
Night.
And Animal Kingdom.
Night.
Okay. So you'd go nighttime
I would
for all
go
4.
nighttime for all 4 because it's been a long time since we have. And I love that we're getting back to things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoy it at night. It's cooler at night. Now ask me again when this Florida girl has some Florida freezing cold. Daytime.
Ask again in January.
Daytime
At
all day
nighttime?
long, please. Because when sun goes down, I mean, literally there can be a 30-degree swing.
Yeah, 100%. I would go Magic Kingdom daytime. I would go Animal Kingdom nighttime. I would go Hollywood. I would choose nighttime simply for Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are enough to make you want to go at night. And then for, what did I leave out? Epcot. I'd probably choose the nighttime when it's lit up around World Showcase, walking around. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. Would you rather see a live performance of The Lion King or Beauty and the Beast? Beauty and the Beast for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I kind of almost think I feel like this is another little downfall. Like technically there is a live action Lion King, that live performance basically.
You got Festival of the Lion King. I think we're
King.
thinking more on let's put it to a Broadway show style.
Oh.
Right?
Because then you have Beauty and the Beast at Hollywood.
Right. But let's go Broadway show. But they're bringing it into the parks. This is
Beauty and the Beast.
This is a paid dinner and show.
Like
Broadway style
Alhambra?
dinner and show. Yeah, like the Alhambra, except good. Alhambra's
that's
okay.
not bad.
Those people are good. You can't knock it. Just when you have seen the caliber of what's available on Disney Cruise Line.
Oh
right?
yeah. And I've seen The Lion King on Broadway.
You have, yeah.
Well,
So you'd pick Beauty and the Beast? Is
Yeah.
what you said? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Lion King. I just want to see him pull it off. It's incredible, right? With the puppetry and all.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I think I would go with that.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous of that. At least you didn't see it in Hawaii. That would have been really the kick to the pants. Okay. Would you rather visit Pandora, the world of Avatar, or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Let's do another day-night scenario. Which of those would you rather visit during the daytime? If you had to pick one.
World of Avatar.
Okay.
Both.
For both. Day and night? I'd flip-flop it. I'd go Galaxy's Edge during the daytime.
Yeah.
And then I'd go Pandora at night. But
I just love Pandora.
yeah, I'm excited.
Smells
October 11th. I hope we're going to get like 30 or 45 minutes after sunset with the extended deluxe evening hours at Animal Kingdom. Like, I am pumped. Like, oddly enough, part of me wants to
just walk
go.
around?
I just want to go sit in Pandora.
Okay.
Like, and just sit and just take it in
Mhm.
because it has been so long since we've had the opportunity to experience that.
Maybe that's when we actually go ahead and eat at Satellite.
The
And,
little within Pandora,
Mhm.
it's so much better.
and
at
I'm sure
nighttime.
it shows it changes at night. You know,
so much better.
where it's
Love that. I'm
crickets
excited for
and-
that. Okay, would you rather go on a Disney cruise or visit all of the Walt Disney World parks in one trip? I mean, that's stupid for us just because we get to visit all 4 parks once, twice, sometimes 3 times a month.
Mhm.
So
I'm gonna say cruise.
okay, so let's
'Cause-
change this one.
Why? Because I like this.
Would you rather
Mm.
go on a Disney cruise or visit Disneyland Resort?
Oh crap!
Yeah, that makes it a lot harder. doesn't it?
Disneyland,
I agree. Just because we have done a cruise.
right?
And
we
know
know
we're
2
doing
of them
another
now,
one. Yeah, we
and
know
we're
doing
gonna do another
in
one,
2025.
right?
We hope that we're going to get to Disneyland in 2025 as well. That is yet to be seen, but who knows?
Yep.
Maybe we do both next year. So,
Yep.
But yeah, just as far as a cruise or the Walt Disney World parks.
The reason I was gonna say the cruise versus the parks because all 4 parks in one trip, it's a lot and it's tiring.
It is.
And
yeah, even if you spread it out amongst
right.
days, it's not like it's saying all 4
Right.
parks in one day,
Right.
which is very exhausting. But to even do 4, even if you did 4 in a 5-day period, right?
Mhm.
Monday park, Tuesday park, Wednesday off, Thursday park, Friday park, it's a lot.
Yep.
Whereas
And on a
that
cruise can be very, very
very
relaxing
chill. Yeah.
if you let it.
Even when you're doing stuff, you're relaxing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like we did as much trivia and
Mhm.
events, and we did all the things we could. And I did not get back from our cruise on the Magic and feel worn out. Like I will
No.
next Sunday when we get home from a
100%.
3-night, 4-day, work trip doing food and wine and all these other things. So and
Yep.
recording our 700th episode in the parks, like it's going to be, that's going to be tiring.
Mhm.
So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Would you rather explore the Wizarding World of Harry Potter over at Universal or Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios? Now, I changed this one a little bit because they said Star Wars attractions at Disney. So I guess technically you could say, well, you get to see everything in Galaxy's Edge and go to Star Tours. But which would you rather get the opportunity to explore? Because I think the answer is Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah, I sure to say I loved Harry Potter, and when I watched it all before I went to Universal, and when I got to go to Universal, I mean, holy freaking moly!
You are
I was like,
in
you really are.
the
I'm
Wizarding
like,
World of Harry Potter.
you are, and I'm like, I mean, I got a wand, and just even down in the dark areas of the Deathly Hollow, I feel like,
Yeah.
just everything about this, and then knowing that J.K. Rowling worked on it and had to like go and check it out first. I love that, and I love how it is done. I feel like I'm literally at the part of a movie. Like I feel like Daniel Radcliffe, and they were gonna walk by and be like, "Oh yeah, we got to shoot this scene over here."
Right. Yeah.
So,
no, I
Super
agree. The only thing I would change now is knowing what type of person J.K. Rowling is. I would choose not to support anything she's ever done.
no.
But again, that aside,
Yeah.
it's not like she's greeting you when you walk into the Wizarding World.
Oh right.
Because I'd probably kick her in the shins. But they should have done with Star Wars in the parks what they did with Harry Potter and Wizarding World. Plain and simple. Put us in the movies.
Yeah.
Give us the things that we truly know and familiar. Galaxy's Edge is familiar if you're familiar with the Star Wars franchise. You know, you definitely, nobody would get dropped in the middle of Galaxy Edge and be like, what type of movie franchise am I in? You're going to go, this is Star Wars, obviously, especially if they put it in front of the Millennium Falcon. But
100%.
But still, nobody's going to drop you in the middle of Galaxy's Edge, and you're going to go, this is from Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Or this is from The Phantom Menace. Or this is from whatever, Rise of Skywalker. You get dropped in areas of Wizarding World, and you go, that is from name a Harry Potter movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, it would, so.
The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah. So, Order of the Phoenix, isn't that one?
I think so.
Pretty good.
Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost said Sorcerer's Apprentice, but yeah, Sorcerer's Stone. Like that you're in it.
Yeah.
And I still think Galaxy's Edge is a wonderful land, and it's an incredible feat and marvel that they pulled off. But they should have gone with the movies. They should have gone with what people wanted. So that's all I got to say about that. Okay, would you rather have a Mickey-shaped ice cream bar or a Dole Whip?
Mickey-shaped ice cream bar.
Agreed. I do love Dole Whip, but there's bars. No.
We can get them here.
Okay.
Too.
I think I know your answer. Mickey-shaped ice cream bar or Mickey-shaped ice cream sandwich?
Ice cream sandwich.
Agreed. Man, those sandwiches are good.
I know.
And now
I want to go to another.
You've given me such a love now of cookies and cream.
Oh, have I?
I've always enjoyed it.
It's my favorite.
Now, to be fair, the Tillamook brand is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Within a week, I think we bought 8 cartons because
they were buy one get one free, guys.
Buy one get one, and we got them and we ate them. And then we went back, and they were still buy one, get one.
No.
So I got 6 of them. Right?
No. They were buy one, get one. So we each picked our own, basically.
That's right.
I picked cookies and cream.
Yeah.
You got a different flavor. But you ate some of my cookies and cream, and then you were like, holy crap, this is good. And because y'all ate, and everybody ate my cookies and cream, which is fine. But we went back, and they were still buy one, get one free. So they were out of cookies and cream, but they were restocking them.
So I asked.
And you asked, and they come in a 6-pack, but I think you felt like you didn't want to.
No, they came in 8.
You said 6.
No, I think if I remember, it came in 8, and I asked for 6 because I felt bad taking all 8.
Got
she had to open.
4,
she had to open the packaging. They were shrink wrapped together.
Right. I thought you only got 4.
Are you sure? I think I got 6.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you got 4.
We'll go count them. We've already eaten a few. I'll tell you, that Tillamook specifically of the cookies and cream. Now, I can't say salt and straw because they've got all those wackadoo flavors.
They're so good, though.
But
some of them.
If somebody handed it to you, you would think it just came from a homemade, hand-scooped ice cream shop. Like, it is good.
Probably.
It is creamy. It's like, it's good.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather attend a private after-hours event at Disney World or have a VIP tour during regular park hours?
VIP tour.
100%.
Yep.
ChatGPT, you're silly. This is where it needs an emotional side to it that can understand the true difference between these.
But we've kind of done, but to be fair, the reason I think we're both picking VIP tour, we've never done that.
Mm-hmm.
We have done after hours events.
We've never done a true paid after hours event at Disney. I'm talking about their actual after hours events, not Jollywood Nights, not the Halloween party, not the Christmas party, not anything that has a theme.
I thought
we have never done a true after hours at Disney World. Isn't that crazy?
What was the one that we were in line and you were heck bent on trying to find somebody, I think, and we went and rode. It was at Epcot.
We've done Moonlight Magic. Yeah, that was Moonlight Magic.
Okay.
So not a true after hours event.
Okay.
We went with Chuck and Amy.
Yeah.
And we did Moonlight Magic, and I was trying to hunt down Austin, my other sisters. I've got 2 sisters that aren't sisters. I got Lucy and I got Christina, right? This is Christina's son. And I was trying to hunt him down in the parks. I had not seen him in a couple of years, and he's such a good kid. He's a grown man now. I don't think we've seen him since he became a grown man. But yeah, we were trying to, but that was a Moonlight Magic, so not true after hours. So we'll try and put one of those on the checklist for 2025 because we certainly want to go ahead and do one. But
oh my goodness.
Okay, VIP tour at Disney or another Orlando Informer night at Universal. And I'm really thinking based on accessibility and based on what is included. If you were given one of those two, which would you rather do?
Probably Informer.
Would you really? I'd still pick VIP.
Oh, okay.
And again, a lot of that comes down because we've never done it.
Right.
And I'll just eat Mickey bars until I throw up.
Ew, don't do that.
I bet I could.
Oh, I bet you could too, but that's gross.
Would you rather have a would you rather have a lifetime supply of Disney merchandise, which I think we already own, or
free park
admission for life?
Free park admission.
That's a really, really good question.
But does that mean I don't get any Disney merchandise? Because that would be very...
You would have to pay for it.
Oh, I already do that.
But I'm saying...
And I pay for...
Okay, here's the question. Would you rather have to pay for your Disney merchandise or pay for your annual passes each year? Would you rather... Is there one of those you'd rather get free each year? So you'd have to look and go, how much do we spend on Disney merchandise in a year? And financially, does that outweigh and outspend the amount we spend on our annual passes per year? I can tell you right now, it does. In popcorn buckets alone, it probably outweighs, right?
Yeah, that's
I
not...
got a popcorn bucket in a while, man.
Thank
we just got
God.
that Toy Story truck like a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
A while is a month for me. So which would you rather have? Would you rather have free Disney merchandise or free annual passes?
I guess merchandise.
Me too. There'd have to be some kind of limit.
But you'd still have to use your brain of, we don't really need that.
The merchandise?
Yes.
Because
even
look
if it's
around this
free,
room and tell me one thing in this office we didn't need.
A lot.
Life is dependent on every
a lot of it.
last one of these. You can't even name one. You're looking for it. Your head is on a swivel. 3-6 can't even find one in this office.
There's a lot of things. I mean,
it's pretty good. Every last one of these has special meaning, and if you took anything away, I wouldn't be a whole person anymore. All right, I'm gonna go Disney merchandise.
I mean, there's goldfish in here, for God's sakes, that you haven't eaten. Like, it's a bag full of Disney, and they have them all the time now.
When the apocalypse comes.
Okay. No.
And we are stuck. Somehow we get stuck in this office only. I'm going to be eating my 7-year-old goldfish, and I'm drinking my 4-year-old 50th anniversary Diet Cokes over here, regular Cokes over here, and I'm going to make it. I'm not going to share them with you at this point because you constantly give me grief over having them.
This is stuff that doesn't need to be there.
My brother collected all the Gatorades and all the Wheaties boxes that Michael Jordan was on throughout his childhood. And into
that was
high school,
big mistake. Big
and
mistake.
not once. Settle down, Scott Calvin. Not once did that come back to haunt us. That nothing happened. Bugs just don't start getting into your Wheaties. They never once got into the Wheaties. Actually, to be fair, I think he opened the Wheaties and we
dumped them out,
and then he secured the boxes again.
Mm-hmm.
But the Gatorades were full.
Okay, but there could be bugs in there.
There's not.
How do you know?
How would they have gotten in without there being an exterior hole or something?
They eat until they get in there.
I don't think that's how bugs work. They probably do. There's not bugs in that thing. Okay. Would you rather spend a day with Disney princesses or go on an adventure with Disney heroes?
Oh, heroes.
Yeah, I'm going to go heroes because they're going to protect me. So we get to go on an adventure.
But that's adventure.
Right.
Princesses are drama, probably. And I don't want drama.
You wouldn't want to be a part of that, the sleepover in Ralph Breaks the Internet of all the princesses? They look like they're getting along pretty well. I can't say I would like to be a part of that. You can.
Actually, you know what? I would take that back. I would do a day with princesses because I would love to see how they are and how they really are and how much drama it really is. And then we go, whew, I'm glad I'm not part of that. Or
I don't think there's drama.
They're girls and they're princesses.
But they're Disney. And I've never witnessed any sort of drama as it revolves around anything related to Disney.
Right.
And certainly not on social media.
Right.
So,
exactly.
I think you're making things up.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Problem is, you wouldn't even know if those princesses were real or they were robots.
True that.
All right. I think adventures with Disney heroes would be incredible. Would you rather experience a ride with a thrilling drop like Tower of Terror or a calming ride like It's a Small World? Feel free to replace It's a Small World with any other calming ride, such as a Living with the Land, Navi
I
River
love
Journey.
that. I love those.
You know, like, would you rather?
I think they're calming.
You would? Okay,
Yeah.
so Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster. Let's go Everest. You know, those are certainly on the thrill side. I don't put Cosmic on the thrill
Tron.
side. I don't put Tron on the thrill side because I think they're so smooth and they're like, there's something different about thrill. To me, has a certain word. It is a rockin'. It is a tower. It is a velocicoaster. You know what I mean? Just because it's a roller coaster, I don't think it necessarily makes it a thrill ride. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But as far as a thrill like Tower or a Navi, I'd still just go, I want the thrill.
Of course you do.
Yeah, every time.
Mhm.
What was your answer? You said relaxing?
Yeah.
Even if it was It's a Small World. Because you're going to sleep. That's all you're worried about is sleeping.
Nuh-uh. I mean, on Small World, I'd
You're gonna
sleep. But Living with the Land, I
Yeah.
love that. And then, like, Navi, I love that ride.
Yeah.
It's not worth standing
No,
for
it's not worth the
45
wait,
minutes.
usually. We haven't ridden it, I feel like, in a little while. Has your opinion of how long you would wait for Navi River Journey
30
changed
minutes.
at all?
30
You'd
minutes.
still keep it at that 30-minute
Yeah.
mark? What if it was 31 minutes?
Then I would wait 31 minutes.
Then you might as well do 32. You see where I'm going with this?
Um,
What's an extra minute? And you just
Okay,
keep adding
so-
them. But think about it. If you would do it for 30 and you say, well, you know what? What's an extra minute? I'll do it for 31. Then you've already committed to the 31. So what's an extra minute and do 32?
Okay.
Take that, ChatGPT. Would you rather watch the fireworks show from Cinderella Castle or from the World
Oh,
Showcase
gosh.
in Epcot?
That's a dumb one.
ChatGPT has not been to Disney.
That's not
Tell
a
you that much.
smart one.
Yeah. From Cinderella Castle?
Right.
Ooh.
I'm thinking the actual, like,
The suite,
suite.
looking out the windows.
Yeah.
Those are, how was it described? Bulletproof? It's not.
Yeah, they're not real stained glass
Yeah.
because if they were,
The fireworks.
The fireworks
The sound
that-
from the fireworks, plus if there was any
Not
sort of
the
shrapnel,
sound,
right?
the
But I thought
shrapnel.
sound had something to do with it too. The sound of that boom and rattling a true stained glass window could shatter it. Sound can shatter
I
windows.
know
You ever seen like a
that.
sonic boom? Well, obviously you haven't. You'd be dead, I think. Yeah, they're. I think they're ballistic grade glass.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yep.
But
So you possibly wouldn't be able to hear the sound of the fireworks, which I know you love so much. Are those windows built like the sliding glass door in the condo on Ace Ventura?
or the same on the bungalows at Polly.
Oh, that's true. See, I bet it's that same thing. Is there a difference?
But I would
between-
wanna
but
be
is there
in
a
the castle,
difference
like,
between
Maybe watch maybe dinner.
that would be really cool.
Anyways,
Yeah.
is there a difference?
Is there a
between
difference between ballistic grade glass and soundproof glass? I wonder if they're one and the same. Just because it's ballistic grade, does that mean it's soundproof? And just because it's soundproof, does that mean it's ballistic grade? Anybody that owns a glass company, hit us up. You know what movie I forgot about?
Hmm.
And then I'm trying to remember who it was I was texting with. They brought it up. Might have been my friend Kyle that I do some work with. Do you remember the movie Unbreakable?
Yeah.
With Bruce Willis
Yeah.
and Sam Jackson?
Yeah.
That's one I'd like to write again. Remember,
Okay.
because Sam Jackson's character was glass. He was very, very breakable.
Oh yeah.
Remember? And it was one of the first like really random takes on a superhero movie. 'Cause It was
Mhm.
technically under the superhero realm, and it was done by M. Night Shyamalan. I think he's how you say it. Shyamalama Ding Dong. I don't know how you say his last name. I want to see Trap, his newest movie.
Okay.
And good for Josh Hartnett. He's back in the game, which I think is awesome. He showed up randomly in another great movie that it flies under the radar is Die Hard with Kevin Hart.
Okay.
And Josh Hartnett shows up in it. That movie, John Travolta's in it. One of his best roles ever. That movie is hilarious. You should watch it. Okay. We got 4 more, and then whatever the heck else I'm going to talk about. Would you rather have a personal tour guide for Disney World or receive a fully customized itinerary from a Disney travel expert or advisor?
Well, I got both of them.
I know.
I got my husband, who
Yep.
is a personal tour guide. And then I got Miss Amy, who is a Disney travel expert.
Yes, this is true.
So
You already have them. What would
if I
you...
don't make me pick between you and Amy, because I love you, Amy,
What would
but
you
I have to
recommend
pick.
for somebody's just say first time going to Disney World? Do you think they'd be better off by having a personal tour guide there, or you think they'd be better off by having a wonderful travel advisor
Both.
tell them and
Yeah.
lay out their entire plan and make their reservations and secure their lightning lane multi-pass and individual or single pass and all that stuff ahead of time?
I would probably say travel expert, because they do know and they can tell you things. Personal
But let's
tour
say
guide
this.
there is going to be expensive, and a travel agent is free.
Okay, well, they both are free. Let's just say. You are right. Travel agents are free. Travel advisors are free.
So please support a small business, and thank you.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So my thought with that one is, let's just say the travel expert who's made your whole itinerary, once you show up, cannot talk to them during the whole trip, right?
But you
so
still
you have to
technically
go by
can,
their
right?
itinerary that they have set for you, and then you're on a schedule that you can't technically change or modify. With a tour guide, you gotta wake up in the morning and be like, here's what I'm feeling today, let's do this. Whereas an itinerary, then you have to follow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a little, just like to throw a little
Okay.
something else in there.
Okay.
Would you rather stay in a themed room, they're all themed, at the Polynesian Village Resort or the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa as you, Rhonda Stein, who has experienced everything that you have experienced in your lifetime concerning Disney World? Right now, somebody calls up, says, I can put you in Poly or I can put you in Grand Flo for next weekend. Which one are you choosing?
Polly.
You really would?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I
would
know,
only pick Grand Flo because we haven't been.
I
We haven't
understand
stayed.
that,
Yeah.
but
Yours is the right
you just
answer
asked me,
for people that aren't us.
but you just asked me right now who I am, and right now who I am. I have experienced literally everything at Grand Flo now, except spending the night there.
Mhm.
Literally.
Mhm.
We've done Narcoossee's. We've done
Citricos. We've been to Grand Flo
Citricos.
Cafe. We've never actually put body parts in the pool. Like,
But
we've
we
never
were in
actually
the
been
pool,
a pool.
and
We've
we
been
were
in
at the
pool
bar.
area. Yes, we've sat at the pool area. And
I
all.
think I did. Did I put my feet in? I think I did put my feet in.
No, you have to you have to have a magic band to put your feet in.
No, you don't.
It goes. You have to wear it around your
Anyways.
ankle.
We haven't done what's there obvious is Victoria and Albert's.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, it wasn't even reopened. Now it is, but I just, with the Poly, I've not only experienced everything at the Poly, I've also spent the night multiple times there.
Yeah.
And that's what I would pick every time.
Let's because I like throwing little things into it and being literal. Literally next weekend, do you feel that you would then, all right, you're all of a sudden at the Poly. Well, we got a lot to do next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you going to get the opportunity to enjoy the Poly?
Doesn't matter. I still love the Poly.
You still would just want to be there.
Absolutely.
Even if we were pretty much laying our head to sleep.
Absolutely.
That's fair. I do think it's the correct answer. I would only pick Grand Flo to knock it off the list because we haven't stayed. So, but I Poly is unbelievable. Would you rather participate in a scavenger hunt around the parks or enjoy a leisurely day exploring each land on your own pace? I'm going to go scavenger hunt. I can explore on my own pace whenever I want.
Yeah, I'm going to do my own pace.
Yeah, scavenger hunt would be a lot of
Well, we've
fun
done
throughout
scavenger
the
hunts
parks.
too, and that's fun.
Yeah. I think doing that throughout all four parks. Like if you were to take, and it's an idea we've always had for the Main Street 16 challenge and stuff, which is not dead. We're just going through some planning and stuff for 2025. It is going to happen. We hope to have a date here soon, but we'll give you at least probably 6 months or so notification. But anyway, we've thought in the past, like, would a scavenger hunt through four parks, 4 clues in each park or something like that would be pretty cool to do all around them. Heck, if you want to even talk about scavenger hunts, you could include the ones that they do at the festivals, like the coming up here will be Remy's Hide and Squeak.
Right.
So I think if you could take that
and then a pumpkin
same
patch,
premise
right?
and
You
a pumpkin patch, Pluto's pumpkin patch.
Yay.
If you could take that same thing and put it in each of the parks, like how amazing would that same concept be in the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah.
Even better, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
because of all the nuances and little details that are there. That would be freaking incredible to have a scavenger hunt like that at Animal Kingdom. So,
Yeah.
Bob,
Well, technically, isn't there with the
you could do the Wilderness Explorer, yeah. But I'm thinking more of the scavenger hunt style that this would be. For example, you would maybe have to go through the queue of Expedition Everest and find a specific artifact, which really gets you to actually study those artifacts. Or there might even be a clue in one of the articles that are posted within Tiana's Bayou Adventure queue. You know what I mean? Almost like a puzzle where you had to go through and actually read some of those articles. So, for example, we had that one that was in French, the article that's in French, where we learned a lot about her dad
that was really cool.
and him being
you did that.
killed in the war, right?
Right.
So imagine there were clues that led you to go, oh, it is part of, I have to look for something that's in this article because a clue told me that the article is not in English, it's in French. And now I have to decipher what this article says using Google Translate.
Right.
Maybe you just hunt down a French person. I don't know. But you have to figure that out. That's your actual clue. And that gets you studying all the different things around.
Okay.
Nobody's come up with that idea. I'm pretty sure by recording it, I just wrote it.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to steal it. Would you rather, for our final one, my birthday's coming up, right?
Yep.
Would you rather throw for me, or would I rather have a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse themed party or a Disney princess themed party?
Well, this is for young little kids.
Who says?
And we did
Who
the
says
Mickey
Who
Mouse
says that's
Clubhouse
for young kids?
because it's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and princess themed.
Yeah.
We did
go
both
with
of
princess
those.
themed. If I have to hear "Oh Toodles," even though it's been a long time,
Oh, Toodles!
I got over Toodles.
Oh, I remember that. The kids loved
Mickey Mouse
it.
Clubhouse is outstanding.
We did that for Kaylin, I think, maybe her first birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and then ended up later doing for sure princess themed and stuff.
Oh,
So
totally. Yeah. I just think it'd be fun for me, becoming a 45-year-old man,
to do a
have
princess.
a really cool princess themed party.
Do you want me to do that for you?
I do.
Are you being serious?
No, because we're going out for my birthday.
Okay.
We're going to sit downtown.
Okay.
But so here is how we will sum up ChatGPT's Would You Rather. If that wasn't enough for y'all, ChatGPT said these questions should provide a lot of fun and can lead to interesting conversations among Disney fans. All that being said, and this was fun. I enjoyed doing this with you. This is where a tool like AI and ChatGPT can be very useful.
I'm gonna call it Toodles. Oh, Toodles!
That's actually a good idea. Toodles GPT.
No, just call it Toodles.
No, but what would be really cool is you're getting ready to go on a trip to Disney. Let's just say you're driving. You're going to be stuck in the car for a little bit. What do? You ask ChatGPT to come up with some ideas. You could come up with would you rather games. You can sit with your family. You can talk about these. You can do it around your dinner table at night. So this is where I think it can be very useful.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, we've done these would you rathers before. And I've gone out and I've found lists and stuff from like BuzzFeed or something. They're not as good as this actually was.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They're on a much, I feel like, lower level.
Okay.
Where it's like, who do you like better? Elsa or Anna? And it just, I don't know, theirs just haven't been quite as thought provoking. So I think this is pretty cool. And we'll probably use this again. Maybe we'll have a whole series of ChatGPT editions.
Okay.
Right? And if anybody would like to see me riding an eagle, you can hit me up and I will share the photo of me riding an eagle.
I want to do that now.
Let's do it after this. Let's put your face in.
All right.
And then we'll come up with something. I don't want to show anybody the ones that it generated when I said picture me at Disney World. I did that and it came up with an image. For some reason in the back it said Disney World, but it was spelled DISY or something, right? And then I was wearing I was wearing a shirt with one sleeve was missing in the shirt, right? This is where AI is not near perfect. The regular the torso part of the shirt was one color. The sleeve that was intact was a different color. And for some reason, I was giving the middle finger. It was the most random, like AI generated image I've ever seen. It was silly, but we're going to use Rhonda's, and we'll get me and Rhonda riding eagles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Next episode will be the long awaited that we do every other year, the cost of a vacation. We're going to do our 2024 edition. We did 2020. We did 2022. Basically, we take vacations throughout the United States for popular destinations and things to do. And we break down what they cost. And then we actually break it down how much you're spending per hour to enjoy that vacation or to enjoy that activity. It's very enlightening for all the folks that say Disney World is too expensive. So go ahead, stay tuned for that. Of course, if you want to hear that in our new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And finally, Rhonda and I would be super thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.